Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss about another child health emergency in Unit 18, that is poisoning. Okay, like any other child health emergency, poisoning is also a very common accident or child health emergency which happens among children, and it is mainly because of a seconds or a very few minutes of lack of supervision among children. So that's maybe the one of the main reason for poisoning among small children. So what is poisoning and details we can discuss. Poisoning occurs when any substance interferes with normal body functions after it is swallowed, inhaled, injected, or absorbed. And it is a branch of medicine that wields the detection and treatment of poison is known as toxicology. So, if any substance is entering in our body more than the particular limit or level, it is can be known as a poison. Any substance which interferes with normal body function, if it is swallowed, inhaled, injected, or absorbed, the route does not matter. When it is entering in our body and it is altering our normal body function, it is known as the poison, and it is the process is known as poisoning. So very few seconds of time can lead to a poisoning or any child health emergency or any accidents in children. So more time will be for watching the child, but a few seconds of unwatched time leads to poisoning. All substances are poison because and the right dose separates the poison from a remedy. So when it is given right dose, it is a good one. And if it is not given in a right dose, it can act as a poison. Even a medicine can act as a poison. Ingestion of a harmful substance is among the most common causes of injury to children less than 6 years of age. So usually that is about the poisoning introduction part. And what are the compounds which is commonly involved in poisoning in children are aminosalicylic acid, acetaminophen, tricyclic antidepressants, narcotics, drugs of abuse, benzodiazepines, iron supplements, alcohol, organophosphorus compounds. These all compounds can lead to poisoning among children. And when you are analyzing the most frequently ingested agent in 1995 to 1998 period of time, a study was conducted, and mostly the cosmetics and personal care products were ingested by the children in the first position. Second is the cleaning products. Third is analgesics, which is consumed by any elder in the family. Plants can be another reason. Cough and cold preparations, because of their taste, they will be consuming it. Foreign body poisoning can be the tropical agents, pesticides, vitamins, and hydrocarbons. So, this is the order of agent which is ingested, which is very commonly ingested by children. And important issues when you are collecting the history collection in any poisoning, these all points we have to cover. So what toxic agent or medication were found near the patient when we found the child with any type of abnormal incidences of any unconsciousness or any vomiting or any other episodes, we have to observe what toxic agent was or medicine was found near the child, that we have to observe. Then what medications are in the home. So if we are not finding anything near to the child, then we have to think about the medications which is kept in the home, which is easily accessible for the child. Then what approximate amount of the toxic agent was ingested, because we have to find out how many medicines were there in our stock and whether there is any missing, and we have to find out how much amount may be consumed by the child and how much was available before the ingestion, how much remained after the ingestion. So this we have to analyze, then we can understand how much approximate amount is ingested by the child. When did the ingestion occur? So time, whether it was within few seconds or minutes, or whether it was happened very many hours before. So that we have to understand what is the duration of or the time of ingestion. Then a history of substance abuse. Is there is any history of substance abuse by the child, especially in adolescent child, we may expect substance abuse. Then were there any characteristic odors at the scene of the ingestion, like kerosene or other phosphorus, organophosphorus, or any other liquids may have some odors in the surrounding, that we have to observe. Then was the patient alert on discovery? When the child is discovered after the ingestion, whether the child was alert and active, whether there is any confusion or altered sensorium was there, that we have to observe. Has the patient remained alert since the ingestion? How has the patient behaved since the ingestion? So these all history we have to collect. Does the patient have a history of substance abuse? That also we have to ask. Then other measures what we do is quick assessment and triage, including ABC management like airway, breathing and circulation. Identify the culprit if there is any person has given the poison, or what was the reason for that, that we have to understand. Limit the absorption by inducing vomiting or gastric lavage can be done, or we can give the charcoal instillation. So that is to limit the absorption of the material into our body. Then ABCs of toxicology, like if there is any poisonous ingestion, we have to go for airway, then breathing, circulation, and drugs which can be given as the resuscitation medications are needed. If it is needed, we have to give, and universal antidotes for each medicine, or if for each poisonous material there are antidote, and universal antidote is the charcoal that can be given. Then draw the blood for chemistry, coagulation, blood gas and drug level. The consumed drugs level can be identified with the blood collection. Then decontaminate by inducing vomiting or by administration of charcoal. Then exposure and examine. And full vitals like Foley's catheter can be, full vital signs should be monitored. Foley's catheter for urine measurements and monitoring of the child is important. Next is give specific antidotes or treatment. So this is the ABCDEFG of toxicology. So airway, breathing, circulation, drugs, draw blood, decontaminate, expose and examine, full vital signs, and Foley's catheterization and monitoring, give specific antidotes or treatment. So these are the ABCs of toxicology. So next is a decontamination, that is if it is happened through ocular or through the eyes, absorption has happened through eyes, flush eyes with saline. If it is there in the dermal or in the skin layer, if the poison is available, remove contaminated clothing, brush off, irrigate the skin with water and saline. Then gastrointestinal decontamination. If it is ingested through mouth, we have to give activated charcoal. So it may prevent or delay absorption of some drugs or toxins. So in some poisons, give activated charcoal. It has good results, especially in gastrointestinal decontamination. Then almost always indicated only in the first hour. Especially when you are administering charcoal, we have to see that it is given in the first hour. Nasogastric lavage can be given, otherwise then bowel irrigation. Recent ingestion anengil we can give bowel irrigation, like away colored patient 500 cc normal saline for children and 2000 cc for adults. Orally or nasogastric tube can be given, and we have to think about the contraindication, because usually in kerosene and other organophosphorus poisoning we should not give this bowel irrigation because of chances of bowel means vomiting and other aspiration complications. So every time when we are doing any procedure, we have to see the contraindications. So this is the other stabilize the patient. So goals are identify the toxins, assess the presence and degree of toxicity, consider if a non-toxicological condition could be the cause of or contributing to clinical presentation. So first of all, we have to assess the patient whether it is a toxicological condition or not, or it's toxic or not. We have to do the history collection, important, but often unreliable, unavailable, or incomplete. We have to collect the history. Maybe unreliable reasons, maybe they will be telling unavailable causes can be there, and incomplete, but we have to collect the history. Physical examination, a focused examination to include vital signs, arousal levels, eyes, skin, muscle tone, reflexes, and odors, and look for toxidromes or toxic signs of each poison. Then, laboratory investigation, selective or progressive toxicological testing can be done. Management, already we have discussed about the ABCDEFG, and airway, breathing, circulation, drugs and decontamination, elimination, or then finding the antidote, and general management of the complications. So, this is the methods to stabilize the patient in poison. So next we can discuss about each poison in detail. So some of the common poisons in detail, and that can be seen in the next video.